Today, we tackle the subject of gun disarming. Lately, there's just been a rash of videos on the internet showing some version of gun disarming and training that really it looks cool, looks like it's fun, looks hardcore, but it'll probably get you killed. So, before we do that, listen, if you're ready to put together a protective plan for you and your family that minimizes the chance of violence coming into your life, please go to timlarkin.com. Give us your email, and we will provide you with free training, video, audio, and written right away that you can start using principles to take care of you and your family, because it's never been more in need in our society right now that you have a plan. So go to timlarkin.com, get that plan. Gun disarming. What I'm seeing is all these videos all of a sudden come out. It's very popular to get what I talk about is stuff that looks hardcore. It's fun to do. Tires you out. You feel like you did something, but when you really look at it and you compare it to real violence, would it actually work? Don't know. Now, the video in question, this one got sent to me by numerous people asking me my opinion on this. Again, there's many videos I could have chosen. This just happens to be the one that's been circulating around. It's from an MMA gym. The guys seem like really cool guys. I'm sure they're hardcore trainers. It's just the principle that they're applying here to a gun. Now, the scenario I'm about to show you is a scenario, this is from them, as is written, that it's either you drop your firearm in an encounter, or the other person, the other guy, the bad guy, has his firearm and he drops it. And a firearm drops to the ground, and you both go to recover the firearm. And how would you do that? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, here we go. I'll go ahead and run it, and then we'll talk.
Live.
So it's two guys. Now watch the focus. What are they focusing on the whole time? Okay. There they are again.
Oh, you got him. You got him. You got him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. That's what the focus is at that time. Meaning you get whoever gets a hold of the gun, you then can simulate shooting the person, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Seems like you look at that. I mean, the vast majority of the comments that I saw on this, people that commented on the training was vastly positive. Oh man, this is hardcore stuff. Oh my God, this is so good. Oh, this is the new standard. This is what we're going to do at our gym. We went all the way through. And then somebody asked to explain, okay, what was the premise of that? And then somebody came on and explained, hey, well, it's if somebody drops their gun or the other guy drops his gun, what would you do in that encounter? And just one guy in the comment section just wrote really quickly, he goes, well, if the goal is for me to survive this, why wouldn't I just, throat him, crush his throat, take his eye, knock him out, and then get the gun? Being that close, why wouldn't I just do that? And, crickets. Nobody answered it. Nobody made a comment on it. It was the only one in that area that said that, which I thought was very interesting. Now, I often think that when you show a training scenario like this, it's often good to jump right to a real life example. And one of the ones that I really like to use, and it's a kind of the avatar for everything that I do when it comes to the idea of weapons disarmament, is this one. And this is just a PDF that I have because there's no video of this. This was a incident that was written about in the American Handgunner. It was circulated there, but this is from like the police reports that we're seeing. And this was, I believe, 2003. Ukiah, California, 2002 or 2003, Ukiah, California, at a Walmart. This officer, Marcus Young, is at this time, the Marcus Young was a sergeant. He was an 18-year veteran. He was a former 82nd Airborne member, lifelong martial artist, and defensive tactics instructor. Highly capable, a very good leader, and an excellent police officer. He shows up to Walmart after Walmart calls because they have a shoplifter, a female shoplifter. And this is the female shoplifter they were coming to apprehend. So Walmart security has her in control, and they meet him. Marcus pulls up to the front of Walmart. They meet him in the parking lot, and he starts to put the suspect in the car, the female suspect into the back of his patrol car to effect the arrest. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees a young male coming towards him. It was this guy. This was her accomplice. Now, he's about 5'6.5", I think about 140 pounds. He was in a hoodie at the time, so you couldn't see the little devil horns there. He's in the hoodie, and he has both hands in his hoodie pockets, purposely walking towards Marcus Young at an angle, towards the police car. Marcus Young, being, very good situationally aware, sees him out of his peripheral, quick turn, points to him and says, "Show me your hands. Stop." The guy keeps coming. Again, he gives him another verbal command, "Show me your hands." And out of one of his pockets comes a knife. So he shows a knife at the officer. Marcus, lifelong martial artist, defensive tactics instructor, actually realizes the distance that he has to actually physically go take action rather than waste his time trying to get his firearm. Jumps into action right away, effects a double wrist lock, then turns approximately 270 degrees to start breaking, which he felt the breaking and tearing of the ligaments and connective tissue of the wrist that was holding the knife, as he is about to slam him up on the back of the police car. Right before that happens, out of the other pocket comes a 5-shot revolver, which the suspect then unloads 5 times, hitting Marcus 4 times. 5 shots, 4 hits. Marcus drops to the ground. Immediately, Walmart security jumps into the mix. They then grab the revolver, the now empty revolver, and this guy, what does he do? He lets it go, because in his mangled hand, he still holds the knife. He then grabs the knife, stabs Walmart security twice in the side. Walmart security drops. He then is jumping into the back of the patrol car, trying to pull out the AR rifle that's in there. Marcus Young is on the ground, and while he's on the ground, he calls over to the Explorer Scout that was driving with him that night. The Explorer Scout helps Marcus train his Beretta onto him, and Marcus is able to shoot twice, killing the suspect in the car. Heroic action. Okay, it was lauded, it was written up. But as I was reading all the reports, it was very interesting. Everybody talked about the situational awareness, the great training, how he's able to respond to this and overcome, tenacity, and all those things are true. Absolutely heroic. Walmart security, absolutely heroic what they tried to do by intervening. But what nobody caught in that is that both the officer and the Walmart security, who was former military, were both trained, when they were trained in hand-to-hand combat, combatives, defensive tactics, they were trained to go after the tool, which would be the firearm, the weapon. They wanted to control the tool. That was the threat first. They didn't want to control the weapon, which is the active brain. The fact that this guy could think and move. Imagine, you're talking about an individual predator that knows how to bait you. And how do they bait you? They're willing to give up a limb because they want to get this. And that's exactly what happened. And just through sheer tenacity and will, Marcus was able to overcome that, along with the help of that Explorer Scout, and they were able to stop this guy before he got the AR rifle, which I'm sure he would have done a lot more damage had he done that. But what was interesting is this is a concept that I see happening time and time and time again when people get into weapons disarmament. They don't understand that the thing that makes a human dangerous is an active brain. And just because you control one tool doesn't mean that they don't have lots of other body tools that they can use. So the idea is you want injury to the human body. You want to make sure the brain is taken out of the equation. That's the most important thing. You need this guy to be non-functional. Then everything goes away. Now, lest you think I'm just coming up with this and this hasn't been something I'm doing, I'm going to show you something that is now probably about almost 12 years old. It was a video piece we were doing inside. It was an inside piece that we were doing for Black Belt Magazine. I was going to be on the cover that month. I was on the cover that month, and they were doing background, material that they put up on their site. This was one of the little videos. I'm taking a small portion of it because I was showing targeting, and I was showing how, somebody on all fours, we give that profile sometimes, and we were striking the neck at the time. I showed about, why would you kick, and the question came to me was, why would you train somebody to kick somebody in the neck that's on all fours? Isn't that unfair? Isn't that lethal? Isn't that illegal? And here was my answer. Same scenario again. So he's on the ground. He's reaching for the gun. at that point.
I see.
Most people would jump and wrestle with the gun at that point. What I'm trying to get my people to do is, this is what makes this guy dangerous. This thing is useless to him, you know, if he hasn't got it yet. To here, better to use my time to injure him and come out, and now all the threats go away. Everything on him goes away at that point. That's useless to him, and all of his body weapons are useless. So, you know, that's just the overriding principle that we've taught for years. And there's much more to this. You know, we really go in depth about, you know, the idea of shutting down the human brain and how it relates to tools, you know, anything like a knife, a gun, a club. But the whole idea is the thing that makes a human dangerous is that active brain. And if you don't shut it down, there's a potentiality for horrible things to happen, like what happened to Marcus Young. So again, that's my avatar. When I train, those are the avatars that I've seen. I just want to run back on the thing, just kind of show you also the scene. This is how bloody the scene was. This is what this police officer was able to overcome. And I just want you to see the firearm. Okay, so there's the 5-shot revolver and Marcus's Beretta. You know, that he was able to affect the, you know, to be able to kill the bad guy. And now I want you to see the actual wounds. Okay, these are 3 of the bullet shots: one in the cheek, one in the upper scapula, and one in the lower margin of the rib cage. And then the last shot was in his back. And again, you know, it all came down to the fact that the first thing that Marcus went for was to control the knife rather than to take out the brain. He could have just as easily done the shot to the brain as well, you know, the shot to the side of the neck, knocking him out, many different ways you could affect an injury on him. But again, he was trying to wrestle and control rather than injure. So I just want to leave you, you know, with that idea. Gun wrestling, again, the reason people like to do it is because it feels like you're doing work. You can put a little bit of, you know, you put a helmet on, you can wrestle around. It feels really aggressive. You feel like you've done something. But again, you don't want to rely on strength. You don't want to rely on, you know, you're going to always assume they're bigger, faster, and stronger. So you're going to want to injure people. You need to take them out because, again, you're trying to take out what makes somebody dangerous, and that's their ability to think and move. You take out the brain, they're not able to do that. Now, listen, if you want more information on this, obviously go to timlarkin.com, sign up for our free training, and we go in depth on all this subject and lots of other subjects like this. So until next time, thank you for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.